Hey everybody, what's up y'all? Welcome back to my channel, TammyTalks here. Y'all know what time it is. It is Wednesday. So let's go ahead and get into Married at First Sight, Season 14, Episode 3, Beantown Wedding Throwdown. For those of you that are brand new to my channel, I do breakdowns of Married at First Sight every week. So each couple gets their own dedicated video. That way we can dish and talk in the comment section. And kind of stay more on task, right? That way also you don't have to listen to commentary about the couples that you do not care about. So if you enjoy that type of content, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, thumbs up the video, hop in the comment section. Let's get right into it, y'all. So obviously we're starting with Chris and Alyssa. So we see Chris and Alyssa's wedding. Finally this episode, they've been teasing in the trailer how Alyssa is going to walk out and all this other stuff. So let's talk about what happened, y'all. So it starts off with Alyssa's friends coming to see her in her room. She tells them that she isn't nervous. Meanwhile, Chris is with his groomsmen, and he still is pegging himself as a serial monogamist, which I just hate when people say that, but he's pegging himself as a serial monogamist. So his friends want him to admit he's nervous. So when he finally does, they're like, oh my God, you're nervous. It's kind of really to get him like, don't try to act tough with this. You know what I mean? If you're nervous, you're nervous. It's natural. You know what I mean? People that aren't getting married at first sight, you're naturally nervous on your wedding day. It's fine. It's like no one's going to judge you for that. Switching back to Alyssa, she said that her gut would tell her if this wouldn't work. And right now she has a good gut feeling. She trusts her gut. So she's ready to go out and let's get married, y'all. So Chris is the only husband that sent the gift. And it's crazy because last week on Twitter, someone even mentioned that nobody sent gifts this season. Like, did they stop it? Was it production-wise? But Chris sent the gift. So he sent her, it was a poem. And as soon as she starts reading the first sentence, like, she starts crying, the waterworks come. So her friend reads it, and he mentions something about following your compass. And apparently that is something that Alyssa and her friends say often. It's like a motto of theirs. So she's like, oh, it just touches me, whatever, whatever. I didn't see the gift that he gave her. Did they mention the gift? Did I just miss it? But I don't think we ever saw what the actual gift was unless the note was just a gift. So Alyssa's parents come to see her, and her mother said this is not how she envisioned it, but you know, we're going to support her and it's going to be a great day. Alyssa points out that she's going to walk herself down the aisle. She said her father had some back surgery, so he's not able to do that much walking. He's not able to walk that far. And I'm like, that's cool. Perfectly fine. I mean, if he can't do it, he can't do it. You know what I mean? So then she puts on them gold boots. She put on them thick gold, like it's like a off gold, a muted gold cowboy boot. And I said, girl, and then you got the nerve to be out here judging people? So she then talks about how she thinks he's going to be tall, tan, and have like a scruffy beard. She says she needs physical attraction from the beginning. And this is where I'm going to stop, because one of the biggest things that like pisses me off about these people is the fact that they talk about needing physical attraction right away. If you need physical attraction right away, you know what you shouldn't be doing? You shouldn't be on Married at First Sight. This is stupid. So, and then she said that she is really concerned about his teeth. She said that she takes good care. She has great oral hygiene. She takes really good care of her teeth. So she wants her mate to have the same, thing. So from there forward, the cameraman zooms in on Chris's teeth. Now, I never noticed his teeth. Never noticed them until tonight. Not only are they yellow, but they're jagged. It looked like the front two teeth are throwing up gang signs. Now, I was fortunate enough to have braces as a teenager. You know, shout out to my parents and that A1 insurance. My teeth are small, obviously, but they're straight and they're white. I know that there are some people that whatever is hereditary, but I personally feel there's no excuse for your teeth to be yellow. It looked like Chris just got done drinking a Mountain Dew. It looked like Chris just bit into like a block of cheese. It looked like Chris has been eating Cheetos. Like, my whole thing is, you make this much money, go get your teeth whitened. What toothbrush are you using? What toothpaste are you using? I can't stand to see yellow teeth in general. So then, of course, we know how TV is. Production keeps zooming in on his teeth. And I said, Lord have mercy. But Chris seems like a really, really sweet guy. So as they're walking down the aisle, you can tell that she's not excited. You can tell that she's not like, oh my God, like some of the other wives and some of the other, husbands were. She doesn't look excited. But then she gets up to him and was like, do you see my boots? Girl, it's nothing to be proud of. Don't be proud of those boots. No one's excited about your boots. No one. Y'all are in Massachusetts. I can see if she was in Texas or Arizona or Nevada or something like that, or Tennessee. You're in Massachusetts. Why are you so obsessed with cowboy? So her family says that she's a straight shooter. She is going to say what's on her mind. She's honest and forthright, sometimes too much of both. She's able to tell right away. You are able to tell right away if something is bothering her because it'll be written all over her face. So then, of course, production shows us her face and she is just sitting there it's written all over your face. It's written all over your face. So, but they also say that she has a huge heart and she will make you feel honored and special. Chris's family describes him as an extremely driven person. He sets goals and he won't stop until he achieves them. So because of that, he's a workaholic. So don't ever be afraid to encourage him to take a break. So, they exchange the kiss, they break the glass. And as they are walking out, I put down, Alyssa looks anything but excited. Chris is smiling and just grins and showing all them yellow teeth that are like jagged. And it's like, what happened with your teeth, Chris? But Chris is like excited, right? And then Alyssa is she has the, oh shit, what the F did I get myself into face? And it's kind of like, I don't ever feel sorry for these people because you take this risk. You are signing up for Married at First Sight. You are taking this risk. So, nonetheless, afterwards, they're sitting down talking, and he tells her that he plays frisbee golf, and she starts to judge him. Now, look, I have never played frisbee golf. I've mentioned that my apartment complex, we have a frisbee golf course right outside. I have seen the people there that play it. I've never judged, but I mean, girl, if he does it, he does it. I don't see why she was making like a face about it. You have on cowboy boots right now. So, but she was kind of like, if he wants to teach me how to do it, fine, but it's not something we're going to do together. And I said, you're being a real bitch. It's giving real bitchy vibes, Alyssa. That's what it's giving. It's giving bitch. How about that? So now they're taking their pictures in the middle of the street. They have the potential to look awesome. And she, the photographer wants her to like lay her head just on his chest. And she was like, no, because I would never do that. I'm not that type of person. And I said, I see how this is going to go, girl. You don't even want to pose for the picture? And I get it. You want your pictures to be natural, but it's a pose. So they're like kind of standing pretty far away. But then Chris is like, in the confessional, great. I like that she's super open. There's no red flags here. She is a red flag, Chris. She is screaming red at you whenever you see her. But all right. So we get to the reception. Chris asks her what made her want to go through this process. She says she feels like she's dating everyone that she could and she just can't find the right person. So she is willing to give this a try instead. So then she was like, her friends have asked her, what if he wants to live in the city? She wants to live out on the land and have a farm and milk her own cows and grow her own eggs and slaughter her own pigs. And she was like, I don't care what he thinks. And I said, oh, are you still not seeing a red flag, Chris? I need to get a red flag so I can start bouncing it at the screen for y'all and we can keep track of the red flags. So at every wedding, everyone taps the glass, and she was like, I don't fall victim to peer pressure. And I'm like, girl, but see, that's how you can always tell though when somebody might not necessarily like their spouse. Like, why couldn't you just give, even if it's just a peck real quick, you can't just do that. But okay, Alyssa is definitely the villain so far this season. We haven't seen enough to villainize somebody completely like we were able to see with Chris right away, but she's definitely the villain so far. So he meets with her mother, and her mother said that she didn't think it was going to happen. I said, okay, Mama Alyssa, we don't need the shade, but okay. So he asked her, does she like me? Has she said anything good about me? And I said, Chris, you're being very desperate and thirsty right now. Y'all are married for the next 8 weeks. So whether or not she likes you, you still got your wife right now. But my whole thing is like, don't be thirsty about it, because that's like, for one, that's just going to get back to her. So her mother pauses, and I was like, no, she didn't. So she would say, well, when we were dancing, I asked her I told her that I like you, and she said me too. And he is just grinning like a Cheshire cat, just all red up in the face and just excited. And I'm like, Chris is sweet, but okay. So he asked, like, what should he do? Like, what do you do if she's having a bad day? Her mother said if she's having a bad day, leave her alone and stay away from her. I said, again, red flag. I just kind of feel like I'm a person, I'm naturally in a good mood. It takes a lot to get me really, really pissed off. So I'm typically not a person that if I'm in a bad mood, I don't want to be left alone. I want you to ask me what's wrong, and then I vent, get my feelings out, and then I'm typically good to go. But to me, it's a red flag to say, leave her the hell alone. Leave her alone. Don't come around her. Don't be around her. Just stay away from her. Like, that's a red flag. But again, Chris doesn't see any red flags. So then we have Chris talking to, Chris's friends talking to Alyssa. And they ask her, what was your first impression? It is crickets. And then she finally was like, he was kind. And his friends know that she don't like him. So, because they're kind of looking like, okay. But then they proceed to completely throw him under the bus and sabotage him. So they said that he might come off as condescending, but it's coming from a good place. They said he's a natural teacher. So he's always in this mode of, I want to educate you about something or teach you about something. Now, I completely agree with Alyssa. That would get on my nerves too. Because I don't like people that do that. I don't like people that do that. My uncle is like that, but he does it in a way where it's fun and it's entertaining. It doesn't feel like he's lecturing you. But I feel like to some people, it might come across that way. So I can totally understand that, but the way that his friends are saying it, that's not what we want to happen. Especially not with her, because, like, she just don't look like somebody that want to be talked to be real. So they also tell her that he can be overbearing if it's something he's passionate about. So he'll go on and on and on about a topic, and to kind of derail him from that, start asking him questions about something else, and then like kind of reroute him. And then they said that to stick to your guns, even if he says you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. And I was like, y'all, why would y'all tell her that? Why would y'all tell her this? But all right, so we see Chris is talking to Alyssa's friends, and he asks them, do you think she likes me? And I'm like, Chris, ask one more person. Ask one more person. Stop. So they tell him, yeah, I think she likes you. She says she typically does not go for the nice guy, so she might be a little standoffish tonight. She doesn't like to cuddle initially. So Chris, thinking that he's trying to like mold himself into what she wants to be because he told his friends he would do that, he kind of was like, you see how my friends are kind of like assholes? Like, yeah, I'm kind of like that. Don't pick yourself as an asshole, Chris. That's not good either. So now it's the wedding night, and everyone's leaving. They leave in like a little pickup truck. I said, right up her little country ass alley. So we see Chris is sitting outside. Well, for one, we get a montage of all the other couples, right? Everyone is like in their room. You know, the men are undressing their wives, unzipping their wives' dresses. Everyone is still sipping champagne, you know, giggling, and you know, like first date aura around everyone. Chris is downstairs by himself, and he's talking to the producer like, what's going on? What are we doing? And we hear Alyssa behind the door telling the producer she hates pushy people. And they say, well, was he pushy? And she said no, but his friend said he was. And I said, Alyssa, now heifer, here's the thing. Believe half of what is it? Believe half of what you see and all of what you hear. I think I butchered that quote. Nonetheless, because I can't think of it right now. Nonetheless, like, don't take what his friends are saying. Like, get to know him. If he has not come across as pushy to you right now, then don't, take that with a grain of salt. But she also mentioned she was mad that he said in the elevator, I'm Alyssa's side piece. She thought that was corny. She thought that was childish. She said that he's not her type, and she does not see any of the characteristics that she asked for in him. And see, this is what I'm talking about with Married at First Sight, and what we all have been talking about with Married at First Sight. Because now you have a man who seems like a sweet guy who's about to get his ass handed to him because you paired him up with a woman who y'all knew wouldn't find him attractive. So they tell her, you need to let him know. Because she said that she doesn't feel comfortable staying with him. And I'm like, so are you kind of insinuating that you think he's going to push himself on you? Because I don't think that's going to happen. Nonetheless, production tells her you need to go talk to him. So she goes out, talk to Chris, and tells him that she's sorry for making him wait. And that some of the things that have been said this evening don't sit well with her. So he's like, I don't know what you're talking about, but I apologize if I did something, if I said something. And then he's asked her if there's anything you want to know, because he wants to like clear some stuff up. She says no and thinks that they should just sleep on it for the night kind of separately. So we see her walk off, and then we see Chris, like, I don't know if he had like a little baby tantrum, if he was getting ready to cry, but I feel bad for him because he's like being completely blindsided, because what did he do to deserve that? Aside from Married at First Sight playing with people initially. But my whole thing, it comes down to, if you are somebody that physical attraction is that big for you, then you don't need to come on a show where you don't know who your spouse is going to be. Point blank, period. I am TammyTalks. If you have not already, go ahead, subscribe to the channel, thumbs up the video, and then hop into the comment section. Let's talk about this, y'all.